Janet Jackson documentary, okay? So technically, this is a documentary that if you're watching it on Lifetime, it's broken down into two parts. If you're watching it on A&E, I believe you can see it in 4 parts, although both parts 1 and 2 came on last night. I, for some reason, randomly watched it on A&E while I was watching it on Hulu, so you guys can watch it on Hulu if you are in the United States. I also have Hulu Live. I searched for it on YouTube TV, but I don't know if YouTube TV has taken Lifetime off of their channel lineup for a minute, but I couldn't find it on there. I typically like to watch things on YouTube TV because if you watch it later, you can fast forward through the commercials, okay? So last night as I was watching, I'm literally watching with the commercials and everything. So that's number one for those of you guys who were interested and maybe haven't seen it yet, or maybe wanted to watch it but didn't know where to watch it. You can definitely watch it on Hulu, okay? So that's number one. Number two, and we're gonna review it. We're gonna do our scale of 1 to 10, but I just kind of want to give you some other logistics. Part 2 will air tonight, but part 2 really contains parts 3 and 4 for those of you guys, again, who are watching it on A&E. Now, let's rate this documentary in general, okay? That's what I thought, Rhonda. Sad state of affairs. The Janet documentary, I was very excited about it because I am a huge Janet Jackson fan. So I have been looking forward to this for a long time. And I don't know if you guys recall, back before the Panorama, she was supposed to go on tour and release a new album called Black Diamond. Now, for me, I'm looking for new Janet, right? And it's now 2022, and I get it, due to the Panorama, she probably wasn't trying to go out on tour, which also means that she delayed that album. But during the fall of 2021, we was told that there was going to be an album coming out around the same time as the documentary, okay? And that there was going to be a single coming before the end of the year. It's 2022, ain't got not nay single, ain't got not nay album, ain't hides or hair of an album to be spoken of. So for me, I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a letdown, because as my excitement grew for the documentary, I was thinking that the music would coincide, which would be the perfect synergy for marketing, right? You got a documentary out, you're gonna put some new music out, it all works together. But alas, we have no music. Y'all had time to work on some music. You had a whole 2 years that we've been dealing with this Panorama. Where's the music? Where is the music? Now that I got that out of the way. For me, on a scale of 1 to 10, the first part of this documentary, an 8. The reason why I give it an 8 is because, you know, this was hyped up to be, excuse me, something very explosive. Like, this was hyped up to be like, it was gonna tell us all and everything that we needed to know. And I feel like what I got was not what I ordered, to be quite honest with you. Now, it was good, don't get me wrong, and I love me some Janet. But it was a whole lot of grainy home footage, you know. And again, I have to say that I did appreciate the history, because there was a lot that we probably never really knew about Janet. Number one, we did not know, or at least I didn't know, that she didn't really want to be in entertainment in the beginning. She was put into the entertainment industry by her daddy. You know what I'm saying? And daddy said, y'all gonna work for this food today, okay? Y'all gonna work for this food and y'all gonna be great at it. And she, because the brothers were, you know, doing their thing, she was kind of put into that spotlight as the baby, right? Another thing that I felt like I didn't know was she wanted to be a lawyer. Okay, she wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to do her Olivia Pope type situation, and this music thing was not what she signed up for. And another thing that we've come to realize is Janet has always seemed very soft spoken, very reserved. That has always been her personality. She has always been, and this is the case with a lot of entertainers, to be quite honest with you. You will often find that some of the biggest names are usually introverts, right? And Janet comes across very much like a homebody, like an introvert. And it's just amazing to see this dynamic play out, because when she's on stage, it's everything, right? But then she leaves that lifestyle on the stage. And when she's not on stage, it's just regular old Janet, right? Which is fascinating to me, because I feel like this is one of the first times that she's really pulling the layers back and letting us inside the fact that she was really unhappy, especially during the beginning parts of her career. It wasn't until she got her daddy, she fired her daddy, and so then she comes out with the Control album, and everything falls into place when she begins work with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Now, the one thing that I feel like we did not know, we did know about the marriage to DeBarge, but for me, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, I did not know that, and I'm looking at my notes right here, he left her on their wedding night at a hotel for hours in a city that she was unfamiliar with, all alone. And then she said she had a bad habit of being attracted to people who use drugs. Now, in my mind, I thought to myself, now, I don't know how many, we know about the high profile relationships. So for her to say that she has a bad habit of being attracted to people who use drugs led me to wonder, well, who else was on the drugs? Okay. I just had to wonder, who else was on them? Because for you to say that, I feel like there's more than one. Okay. So that's the Janet documentary. For those of you guys who are interested, it's really the early years that we got last night. And Janet seemed a little sad to me. Did anybody else get that sort of feeling from her as she was doing her interviews? Maybe she wasn't sad as much as maybe it was just reflecting on some of those early memories and realizing that she did not really want to do what she was being made to do.